Finally reading Onyx Storm. I have been putting this book off for the longest time ever. I think it's about a year and a half since this book has been released, so I thought you could come along with me to read it. I'm going to get into the book and I'll come back in about 100 pages or earlier if I feel there's any important updates, and we'll see how it goes. I'm back. I'm currently on page 75, so I've just got to chapter 9. It's been quite interesting so far. I did have to go and watch a recap because it had been quite a while since I read kind of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing. That was really helpful. I can link the video below that I watched because it was nearly 2 hours long, but it really explained everything that had happened in Iron Flame. I felt like I was completely up to date again. In this video there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read Onyx Storm yet, then please don't watch this because I don't want to spoil it for you. We've now seen Violet and Xaden after the battle that happened last, where sadly Xaden has been turned to venin, and from what I can understand, Violet's doing everything that she can to try and reverse this or find the cure for venin. However, Jack Barlow has told Xaden that there isn't one. So I'm really curious to see whether that's something we find out this book, or whether that's something that will take a couple, or whether it can even be done, because we don't know at this point if that's an option. I'm really enjoying being back with all the characters. Mira is slightly getting on my nerves. I don't know why. I really liked her in the last book, but she's just a bit overpowering. Like, I feel like Violet's kind of proven herself in a lot of areas and everybody's still trying to baby her quite a lot, which I think she's finding frustrating, and it's frustrating for us to read because we know that everybody wants the best for her, but actually there's things that have got to be done to try and help everybody. I've just got to the part where Dane's dad has come back, and the evil piece of poo that he is trying to punish them all. So they have lifted the rune on the ward stone so that all of the flyers can wield again. I really like that. I think it's good that they can work together, and I hope that they get along eventually, or even can work together civilly, because they're going to need it if they're going to be fighting the venin. Also, I've just met the Queen, so she has said to Violet that she can use her archives whenever she likes because she saved the flyers and helped them. So that sounds really positive. I don't know very much about her at all yet, just that she said to our Violet, thank you, you can use my archives. I hope they get to some kind of treaty and they're all looking now to find the rest of Undana's family, or find other dragons of her breed. I'm wondering whether she has some sort of knowledge on where they might be. Obviously they don't have long. Also, Violet has been told that Holden is having to go on this travel with her instead of any of the people that she wants, which is really frustrating, but I feel like something might happen there. Surely we can't have the book and the travels without the rest of the squad, surely. But I'm glad to see that everybody's still okay. Obviously poor Sawyer's lost his legs, but he had helped to move the ward stone, and I think that's given him some confidence, which is really nice to see. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm going to get back into it now and try and read a little bit more, but yeah, really enjoying it. And I'm annoyed that it took me so long to pick it back up, because as soon as I did, I'm hooked in again already. I need to find out what happens, so see you again shortly. I have just got to page 84 and it looks like they're in a battle with Wyvern. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Oh my god. He's breathing. The silver-haired venin can wield lightning. Jesus Christ. That was rough. I'm now on page 91, so chapter 11. They have just found out that the Theophany, I think her name was, so the silver-haired Venin, can also wield lightning. Tarn, I was so scared. I'm so glad he's okay. Well, from what we know, he's breathing, he's alive, so that's a bonus. Also, how did Garrick get there so quickly? That's what I'm wondering, because he was 8 hours away with Xaden and now he's back already. So maybe he has a second power that we don't yet know about. I'm loving this. I'm really, really glad that I picked this up. I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I feel like there's going to be lots of things that need answering in a minute. Who's Theophany? Why does she know so much about Violet? I think it's to do with Jack Barlow, but we don't know for definite yet. This is crazy. It was only like 20 pages ago that I came back, but I feel like things are picking up really quick now, so I'm going to carry on reading a bit more, and hopefully there's no near-death experiences, but who knows with the Empyrean series, let's be honest. Also, another thing that I just forgot to mention is Theophany said that Andana was an Irid. Is that her power or is that her breed? Because she said one of them give you this. Which one did you pick first? The one that gave you the sky or the Irid? And I've not heard that name unless I've missed it. So that's either her breed or her power. My assumption would be that it's her power given the context that it was said in. But hopefully I find out soon because it's getting more confusing. I just want to take everything in. And I just want to get through this book now and try and figure out what's going on. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm so glad I picked it up. You will have to ignore my red face. I've just got out of the shower, so my face always goes really red afterwards. But I managed to get to chapter 15 when I finished reading, which is page 129. So Xaden has now become a professor at Basgiath, which... So they're having to follow the codex, which means that they are not allowed to be in a relationship, basically. And obviously, Dane's dad, Mr. Pui Aetos, is making them stick to it really strictly. However, we have just got clearance that Xaden can go on the mission with Violet, which is good. So she's not going to be going on her own. Xaden's given me a little bit of worry, to be honest. He's really struggling to keep hold of his control, which is sad for both of them. Obviously, he's doing it out of care, but it's just tricky for them because who knows what's going to happen next. So I'm going to carry on reading now, and then hopefully I'll get a few more answers. I'm not expecting to finish it tonight. I think it's about 10 o'clock, but I want to get a good portion of the way. I am going to be splitting this video into 2 parts just because I like talking in depth when I come across things, and actually I don't want it to be a really long video. So when I get halfway, which I believe is about 270 pages-ish, I will come back, we'll do a summary, and then tomorrow, when you see this tomorrow, I will be reading and uploading the next half of the book. So thank you if you have stayed this far. I will get back to it. So I'm on chapter 18 now, so page 153. One thing that I would like to say is I love how Rebecca Yarros has still managed to build tension, even though Xaden and Violet are like in a relationship and still in love. You can still feel that tension and that they're not able to connect, and that kind of builds that for me. They are practicing their wielding against each other now, which is really interesting, and I just love like the dynamics between them two. I think it's so interesting how Xaden is like, you're the only person that can kill me, but then is teaching her how to do that, and I'm wondering whether that's because he's scared that one day she'll have to. Also, I've just met Holden. Sorry, were they in a relationship? My assumption is that he was her first boyfriend, just based on what he said to her. So obviously he wants to try and go on a date with her when they're away on a mission, or well, maybe not go on a date, but want some time with her. That ain't gonna happen, I hope, anyway. I'm guessing that that's not gonna happen, but I'm sure it will in some way. And Xaden has just like striked him with his shadows because he was, I don't know if he was overhearing or just watching. But yeah, I love the tension between these two, and the fact that they're still in a relationship and we've managed to build that is great, because I feel like sometimes once they're together in a relationship within fantasy series, it's just bonking all the way, whereas I feel like the tension's still being built and you're still kind of, they're still yearning for it. Do you know what I mean? Really enjoying it so far. That's all I really have to say. I am kind of just waiting now for them to get to the mission, because I feel like there's been a lot of build up for it. So I'm excited for when they're actually going to start travelling and trying to find the rest of Andana's breed. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm going to carry on reading, and I'll probably come back tomorrow morning for an update, because it's about 11:30 now. I got distracted when I started trying to read, so took me ages to read those last 3 chapters. So we have just got to page 205, which is chapter 24. Quite a bit's happened. So they went on a mission with the group and they found the citrine, but unfortunately Grady had been killed. So when they got back, it was then decided that, well, Violet then demanded that she would have the squad that she wanted, so I was really happy about that. I did have a suspicion that it would end up that way, because I don't think you can have the book without all of them, or the majority of them, together for most of the time. That's really positive. They have just flown over the Emerald Sea and have landed, and they're currently looking for what Violet's dad has asked her to look for. They went into a bookshop and have asked for Narelle, and it ended up in a bit of a fight, but Narelle has just said, "You're Asher Sorrengail's daughter and you're looking for the books that he's left you." So that's where I've kind of put it down for the moment. Oh, I love it when things like this happen. I'm getting really excited now. It's really picking up. Ooh, I'm really excited to carry on reading. Also, whilst they cross the Emerald Sea, they have lost their powers just while they're there. And it's really funny to see Xaden's different side coming out. He's been really happy and jokey with Dane, which we've never seen before. And it made me laugh when everybody was like completely in shock when he asked about them as kids. So it's nice to see him having a bit of a relief of time, really. That's where I'm at the moment. We'll carry on reading and see where we get up to. I'm nearly halfway now, so we're nearly coming to the end of this video, and then we will carry on tomorrow. Okay, so I'm currently up to chapter 29, which is page 252. So they went to Devrelli, in order to try and make a deal with the king, who is Courtlin. That didn't go to plan, so he said that he would only see Holden, but then Holden ended up trying to steal from him, so he got held hostage basically, and he said that he wasn't going to release him. And then things kind of took a turn, and they said that they were going to basically kill Violet and Xaden, because they were the only two that were allowed in, bearing in mind they don't have their powers at this point. However, when it all started kicking off, Xaden's taken some iron out of his bag, and I assume he's channeled from it and killed all of the guards in the room. That, of course, has made everyone feel uncomfortable. So they have now agreed that they can use Devrelli as a base to try and search for Andana's breed, which I believe now stands for iridescent, because I was unsure on that earlier when I mentioned it previously. So they have just got back to Basgath. I always pronounce it differently. So they have just got back there, and they were in battle training, and they've just realised that somebody else is venin. So that is where I'm up to. I think Professor Carr has just come and stabbed them with iron. I feel like I've got a lot more to come in this book. Obviously, I am only halfway, and I feel like it's going to pick up a lot more now, even though I've really enjoyed it the whole way through. There's a few things, obviously, that we still don't know. Is obviously, are they going to find Andana's breed? I don't know if they will. I don't know, they've got 6 months to do it. I'm not sure if it'll be this book or whether it will be somewhere further along that they kind of find that. Also, Xaden went away for 8 days after he channeled, so I think there needs to be some progression on him, because I don't want him to be venin. I don't want him to be nasty, and he's really trying, but I think Violet is worrying in case they can't find a cure, or how they're going to find that. She's not in denial that there will be one, but she just doesn't know when that's going to be. And they thought that they could have stayed in Devrelli. They kind of toyed with the idea of staying there long term, but actually it seems that Xaden can still channel while he's there, which isn't the best. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm going to end the video here just so it's not super long, but I will do a part 2 of reading the ending of Onyx Storm. If you have stayed this far watching this with me, then thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But I hope to have the next video up within the next day or two, and we will see what my final thoughts are. I'm scared for the ending just because she always ends it on such a good cliffhanger. So yeah, I have no idea what I have in store. But thanks for staying with me, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!